The state of Kansas is making all adults eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine next week.
One of our local senators is working to create the MINUTEMEN of Missouri, an armed volunteer group that could be called on by the governor in times of crisis. I'm Zach Dodge with the story.
A manufacturing company in Joplin expands and needs more workers.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announces every adult Kansan will be eligible to get a coronavirus vaccine next week. This is KOAM News at 6. Governor Kelly says beginning Monday, every Kansan age 16 and over will be eligible. Kelly says it's thanks to the anticipated increase in vaccine supply from the federal government. As of today, more than 35% of adult Kansans have already received at least one dose of a COVID vaccine. The vaccine rollout has coincided with a drop in cases, but there are concerns that the numbers could again rise as variants begin to spread. In a news release today, Kelly said, quote, "I strongly encourage every Kansan to get the COVID-19 vaccine so we can get back to school, back to work, and back to normal." Proposed legislation in Missouri would create a registry of armed volunteers who the governor there could put into action in times of major crises. Harkening back to the Revolutionary War, they would be called the MINUTEMEN. KOAM's Zach Dodge has that story.
A term harkening back to the Revolutionary War could be put to use in Missouri.
It's an avenue for people to volunteer to respond to a state emergency.
Legislation introduced by Senator Bill White would create the MINUTEMEN of the state, a registry of armed volunteers who the governor could put into action during a crisis with the consent of a majority vote. White explains that emergency would be one of civilization-altering magnitude, in which state and local agencies would benefit from coordinated volunteers.
There's a book out there, 1 Second After. It's about an EMP attack. Could easily be a solar flare. Same thing, a large electromagnetic pulse. If you all of a sudden completely lose your electric grid in Missouri, where your average everyday citizen's like, okay, I want to help do something.
Volunteers would be required to supply their own firearms, ammunitions, and other supplies, which would, from the time of signing up for the registry, be considered property of the state. An idea the owner of Brandon's gun trading company doesn't like.
That can be actually confiscated by this government body, and I can't think of too many people that are going to want that to happen.
White says that in amendments that were recently filed, that fear is being addressed.
We have a list of things that cannot be taxed, cannot be seized, no registration requirements.
He also explains that since the equipment would be property of the state, it would help protect gun owners' Second Amendment rights, even from federal actions.
The federal law is not nullified, it's just not applicable. What we own, the federal government can't tax and control, vice versa.
In Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Senate Bill 528 was introduced by Senator White in February. The first committee hearing for that bill is scheduled for this coming Tuesday. Checking in with Doug Heddy now on what has been a beautiful Friday, Doug.
Yeah, most of the week was kind of gloomy outside. We had clouds, we had on and off showers, even a few thunder showers, but not today. Today was fantastic, plus it's Friday, so it's always nice. But look at the clear skies. We have a few clouds in our northern counties, but everybody else looks great. But here's the beginnings of our next storm system. So already you can see showers, thunderstorms blowing out across central parts of Kansas. But this is all going to stay to the north. We mainly have to worry about the backside wave, which is going to roll in as we head into tomorrow night. So if you want to get outside this evening, it looks fine. Temperature still holding into lower 70s. The wind's a little breezy out there, but besides that, it looks pretty good. We're going to drop back through the 70s, 60s, down into the mid-50s later on tonight. Of course, we're going to look at the weekend and rain chances here in just a bit.
All right, catch you then. Thanks, Doug. A Joplin manufacturing company is hiring an additional 60 workers. Babcock Power makes heat transfer technology for power generation, as well as oil, gas, and chemical industry equipment. Because of a rise in sales, the company is building a new facility and will need 60 more workers. Those jobs will include welders, machinists, heavy lift operators, quality control inspectors, and maintenance.
You know, we're trying to bring in a lot of different quality assurance, material handlers, and welders, fitters, roll operators, several different varieties of different employees that we need here, which will actually bring more revenue to the Joplin area.
Babcock Power's new facility will be 18,000 square feet. The Better Business Bureau is warning of a scam involving fake COVID-19 vaccination cards. As some businesses and local governments consider requiring proof of vaccination to enter certain buildings, scammers are taking full advantage. They're listing fake vaccination cards for sale, but when the victim pays the fee, no card is sent.
A problem is as well is that if you're going ahead and you're paying something online and then you're going to get charged more money, and you're also giving your sensitive information for a scammer, because the scammer may say, oh, I can fill it out here and then send it over to you. And as Better Business Bureau knows from our past data, if somebody steals your identity, that can be up to $70,000 worth that they can just, depending upon how good your credit score is, then they can go buy a house in your name.
The sale of fake vaccination cards has been reported in Springfield, Missouri, among other cities across our nation. Coming up, a Kansas woman's obituary says she died because of the COVID-19 vaccine, but health officials say they're not so sure that's the case. Plus, a legislative watchdog's report alleges several problems with the state of Oklahoma's contact tracing data. Northeast Kansas woman passed away this week, and according to her obituary, she died from an allergic reaction to the COVID-19 vaccine. Well, now some health officials are looking into that claim. Reporter Greg Payne has more.
Right up there at the bar. She liked to be close to the cash register.
John Dove, the owner of Dove's Nest, says 68-year-old Jeannie Evans was a regular at the restaurant.
Just 68 years old. She was a fireball, man.
Yesterday, Evans, a former Effingham City Council member and beloved local store clerk, passed away.
I think because everybody did know Jeannie and a lot of people grew up with her, yesterday was kind of a solemn day for everybody. You know, everybody that passed through the doors here yesterday spoke of her. And even today, customers are coming in, you know, asking if we've heard anything more about what happened to her. And
Evans' obituary says she died at Stormont Vale Hospital from a reaction to the COVID vaccine. The hospital told us today her cause of death hasn't been determined. We reached out to the Kansas Department of Health about the situation. They say she was vaccinated in Jefferson County and that during the waiting period after the shot, she experienced a severe allergic reaction. Evans' death has some in the community shaken up.
for those that do want to get the vaccine, that throws a certain level of doubt. And for those of us who probably won't get the vaccine, because I don't even get a flu shot, that definitely kind of seals it off for me, where I'd probably wait.
Health officials with the University of Kansas Health System hosted a panel on the death. While saying they don't know enough about this woman's specific medical history to be certain, they note most obituaries are written by family members, not medical professionals. They also say they have a hard time believing a medical examiner would list the vaccine as the cause of death on the death certificate.
Even in the United States, with 80+ million doses of vaccine given, we haven't seen this through, now 3 different kinds of vaccine. Absolutely tragic. Would like more of the information. I can't believe if there was an autopsy or the medical examiner would put death due to vaccine. It's usually more medical things such as stroke or respiratory failure.
The panelist added the CDC is constantly monitoring vaccine reactions and has not reported any deaths due to the vaccine. A new report from a legislative watchdog shows the Oklahoma State Department of Health lacked sufficient contact tracing data to measure the spread of COVID-19 in the state. The 68-page report from the Legislative Office of Fiscal Transparency found data collected by the state was either lacking in substance, withheld, misaligned, or never developed for public consumption. In response to the report, Oklahoma's interim health commissioner, Dr. Lance Fry, explained the challenge the agency faced responding to the pandemic was overwhelming. Doug Heddy is up next with his complete forecast, and later Seneca Elementary students celebrate reading with some penguin-themed activities.
Well, it turned out to be a fantastic day for us today. Temperature's great. You can see such a warm up from really over the past 3 or 4 days where we've only been into the 40s and 50s, but mainly upper 40s yesterday and then today into lower 70s across the region, which we will definitely take. We deserve that, especially heading into the weekend. 66 in Iola, Independent 71, Grove sitting at 72, Anderson at 71, Nevada checking in at 69. So it's nice that we have these extended daylight hours now as the temperatures stay up a little bit longer. A little breezy out there. It's going to be a little windy for us tonight. South winds at about 10 to 20, but look at the clear skies looking south and east from the station, currently sitting at 71. South winds at 15. Humidity is bone dry at about 34%. We'll slide back through the 60s, eventually upper 50s later on tonight. But in general, it's going to be an okay night, and really most of tomorrow looks pretty good as well. We do have a few clouds. These are mainly in our northern counties, and this is the beginning of our next storm system, which is starting to get organized. You can see some showers, some thunderstorms out across central parts of Kansas. These are going to move north and east, so this is mainly going to be along and north of Interstate 35, really from Topeka to Wichita. Now, our very far northern counties, maybe Yates Center, Iola, over toward Pleasanton, those areas may get skirted by a random shower later on tonight, but everybody else is going to stay dry. The main wave is out across parts of Arizona. As it rotates out, that's when it will start to affect us, most of us, by the time we head into Saturday evening. Tonight's fine. We look good. Eventually, we'll drop back lower 50s. You can see a few of those showers trying to skirt our northern counties. Partly sunny tomorrow, but a nice big warm up. I think most of us go mid-70s for highs. We'll start at 51, 69 by noon, up to 75 during the afternoon. But a cold front rolls in late in the day. So you can see our winds after 3, 4 o'clock start to switch to the north. Now, right along that front, we'll most likely get some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. I don't think any of these would be too strong. I think the better chance for some strong storms, maybe a couple severe ones, would be our very far southern counties. So Delaware County, McDonald, Berry, and Benton County. So we're going to watch that area tomorrow. I think everybody else, just a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. But most of the day looks pretty good. Any storms that do fire, these are gone tomorrow night. Sunday's going to be cooler, but it's not going to be bad. We're going to have sunny skies, high temperatures, right around 60 degrees as we head into the afternoon. Then we warm right back up by Monday. Then our next storm system, it drops in late Tuesday night, and into Wednesday with some rain, maybe even a few flakes of snow mixing in. 75 tomorrow, 60 on Sunday, 68 Monday, back to 65 on Tuesday. Quite a bit cooler by Wednesday, but it doesn't stick around for too long.
Mid-70s tomorrow, possibility of a few flakes of snow before the week is through.
I know, it's kind of crazy. That's the part of the pattern that gave us the Valentine's Day snow. So it's kind of repeated around, but in general, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. Still ahead, a Missouri nonprofit is making sure seniors don't have to worry about transportation to get to a COVID-19 vaccination appointment. Students at Seneca, Missouri Elementary are celebrating their reading efforts. Now, students and their parents were encouraged to read a chapter of Mr. Popper's Penguins together every night. Now that everyone is finished, students this week have been having some themed fun. It all culminated today with several activities aimed at helping students learn about the science of the Arctic and the foster of love of reading and learning.
We know that families are busy. We know they've got a lot going on, and sometimes reading kind of gets put to the side. And so we really just want to encourage kids to read with their families. We want to encourage parents to read with their kids. And so picking one book for the whole school seems to be really engaging for our families.
Earlier this week, students sent out flat penguins to family and friends around the world to see how far they travel, with the recipient asked to post pictures. Neosho, Missouri city officials are ironing out the details for this year's Celebrate Neosho event. The festivities will happen on June 26th in the town's square. Now, last year's event was canceled, so the city wants to focus more on local businesses. They're offering local businesses and vendors the first choice to be part of the event, a decision which not everyone is happy with.
We've all talked about this several times, and we just really want to make it a place where every year businesses in Neosho know they can participate and celebrate Neosho, and they have a spot with us.
Activities they are considering include a bike race, fishing derby, and a car cruise. A nonprofit in southeast Missouri says senior citizens should not have to worry about transportation to get to a COVID-19 vaccine. As Jeremy Ford reports, easing that worry is the goal of a new partnership designed to get them to vaccination clinics free of charge.
As they get older, they're not able to maintain a vehicle or even drive a vehicle.
Lindenwood property manager Rhonda Compass tells me transportation is one of the many problems seniors face.
They already have health issues. They're of that age group that they should already been vaccinated in the first tier. They don't know how to get out there and find the flu clinics or the access, how to get them, how to sign up for them.
But with the partnership between Aging Matters and Cape Transit Authority, getting vaccinated is now a little easier.
You know, I've already got 7 ready to sign up. Been getting a lot of questions asked, you know, when, where, how, so we're here to help guide them.
Here's how the vaccination free rides work. First, the senior must schedule an appointment to get their COVID-19 vaccination. Afterwards, they must schedule a ride to and from that appointment.
They have to call Aging Matters, and we will arrange the transportation. If they need help scheduling, we can arrange the scheduling too.
Aging Matters Public Information Director Jackie Dover tells me the goal of the program is to serve the community by helping seniors in need of their vaccination.
Transportation is such a barrier. So if you can't get somewhere, you're missing out on so much.
Aging Matters is partnering with 4 transportation companies to cover 18 counties in southeast Missouri. Final check on the weather is next. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Howard Kress served in the U.S. Army as a recruiter during the Korean War. Fort Scott, Kansas native was also stationed in Europe and China as part of the 45th Division, and we salute Lieutenant Colonel Howard Kress, a 4-state hero. Jordan Albee joins us now with a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, going to hear from a doctor about the differences between COVID-19 symptoms and allergy symptoms. Plus, severe storms and tornadoes slam the South. Also, a new Pepsi flavor, Peeps Marshmallow flavored soda. That and much more coming your way tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Thanks, Jordan. Hey, this handwritten job application, it might be worth more now than the actual job at the time. Someone paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for this. The single-page questionnaire was signed by Apple co-founder Steve Jobs. This week it was auctioned off for more than $222,000. On the 1973 application, Jobs highlights his experience with, quote, computers and calculators. A year later, he joined Atari, where he met Steve Wozniak. They founded Apple in 1976, and the rest, of course, as they say, is history. They went on to just change the world. Hey. Doug Heddy, you're on TV, buddy. We got you.
Yeah, I was trying to get the wife out. It looks pretty good for us tonight. We're going to be dropping back into the mid-50s for overnight lows, but tomorrow's going to be great, 75, so even warmer than what we did see today. Now, we are going to see some showers and thunderstorms rolling in by the evening hours.
Thanks, Doug. Tell Leslie I said hi. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.